What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be working on a very simple DIY alignment adjustment that you can do on your car. Now, this is for people who just had their car aligned, so you know your alignment is good, but you've noticed your steering wheel is a little crooked. Maybe you are going straight on the highway, everything tracks perfectly fine, but your steering wheel is a little off in relation to the car. For me, my car has to be perfectly straight. It just makes the most sense for the car to be square, basically. I've done this alignment adjustment on a lot of our other cars, the RS3, our old S3, my old Supras as well. So with the Civic Type R, I noticed it's just a little bit off. I had it aligned a while ago, but it is time to show you guys a really good, simple adjustment you can do. So as we get onto a straight and level road, I'm gonna show you the amount that the steering wheel is off. So right in the center, the car is tracking nice and straight as of now. You can tell the steering wheel is a little crooked that way. So if I go ahead and straighten out the wheel now, as you can tell, I'm slowly leaning towards the left. So once again, as we get back to the center of the road, you can kind of tell the crookedness of the steering wheel, that versus that basically. So I know that with the steering wheel straight, if the car is veering left, I need to angle my wheels to the right a little bit. That way we're gonna be nice and square all the way around. So now that you see what the car is doing, everything tracks perfectly fine, but the steering wheel is just a little off. I know the alignment is square, so it's not like I'm gonna mess up the alignment itself. Basically, we're just gonna straighten out your steering wheel. So what we're gonna do is go to each tie rod end link. You have to do this on the left side as well as the right side, because the goal is gonna be to angle those front wheels a little bit to the right, just a couple degrees. That way when the steering wheel is straight, the car will also be tracking straight, and doing so will not affect your actual alignment, given we know the alignment is squared away already on the Civic Type R. So with the car jacked up in the air, I'm gonna get a better idea of where we're looking. So right here, this is called your tie rod end link. This is what connects to the steering. You're gonna see that boot right there, and as you can tell, there's a nut on it, as well as areas on the actual bar itself that you can rotate to lengthen and shorten the overall tie rod end length. You're gonna have one on this left side. There's also one over on the right side as well. And depending on your car, notice how these ones are behind the axle. Other cars, like the RS3, they're in front of the axle. So the goal is on one side, we're gonna lengthen or shorten these tie rod end links. So with the tie rod end link, as you can tell, we have this area that you can put a wrench on, and we have this nut as well. For my car, since I specifically need to angle the wheels, make them more angled to the right, that means I'm gonna need to lengthen this tie rod end link to push the back side of this driver's side tire outwards. So doing so will then angle this to the right. On the other side of the car, we're gonna be doing the exact opposite. We need to shorten this because we need to pull the inside of the wheel closer to angle it to the right. Now, I don't know the exact correlation. I may turn this 90 degrees and that might be the adjustment I need. I might have to do a full turn or less. From here, we're gonna go ahead and loosen this nut right here. All right, with that loose, that kind of gives me the wiggle room to then further make this adjustment. So once again, I need to lengthen this, so I'm going to back this black part out of here, so I'm going to loosen it effectively. And since this nut moves, we're gonna remake our mark. I'm gonna line up this flat black part with the actual tie rod itself. That way, these two are gonna be correctly in relation to itself. So if I wanna turn that about 90 degrees, I'm kind of eyeballing it. However, the relation will be close enough to where it's not gonna actually affect anything. So a couple degrees from this one off, not really a big deal. But from here now, I can grab this and we're gonna just back it down a little bit, line it up with the new mark that I made. All right, and then I can put this back on to tight. So once again, this black piece right here, I backed it out of this tie rod, which has now lengthened this whole tie rod end link on the driver's side. So now moving over to the passenger side. So once again, we need to do the opposite thing. So on this tie rod end link, if I shorten it, that's gonna pull the backside of the tire closer to the vehicle, which turns the wheel to the right direction. So once again, I'm gonna just make a mark. Doesn't matter where you make the mark, just as long as you can see it visually. So I can see that as my starting line. And knowing that I need to shorten this, I'm gonna be turning this in a clockwise position. So this black bar is gonna end up being over on this left side over here. So I'll just go ahead and make a mark at about 90 degrees, right about there. And now I know exactly where I'm gonna be pulling this. So next up, we're gonna loosen up the nut. All right, get that out of the way a little bit. And then we're gonna shorten this again and pull this tie rod end link down 90 degrees. I'll get that in line with the new mark. So now I know I've done 90 degrees on each side. This is trial and error, so we're gonna see if that is good enough when I go to test drive it again. And from here, now we will just snug up this safety retaining bolt. Okay, so that is the adjustment on how exactly to adjust your wheels without messing up your alignment. You have to do both sides in the opposite directions. Therefore, you will pull one side shorter, push one side farther. That is how you do this without affecting your alignment. So once again, to reiterate again, for my car, since I was tracking perfectly straight with the steering wheel a little crooked, angled to the right, if I straightened my steering wheel and my car started veering left, I have to turn both front wheels to the right side. Everything will be the exact opposite if the car was veering to the other direction. So with that adjustment out of the way, if I get to the center of the road once again, as you can tell, the car is tracking where I'm pointing it with the straight steering wheel. I'm not going perfectly straight just because I gotta avoid these guys, but as we make our way back into the center where the road is flat and level, as you can tell, that's pretty darn straight. The steering wheel is level and I am tracking perfectly straight. Before, with a straight steering wheel, the car was doing that. So now we are tracking exactly where I point the steering wheel. So there you guys have it. That is a quick and easy DIY alignment adjustment you're able to make on your own car to get your steering wheel nice and perfectly straight in relation to your car. Again, this has to be done after you've already had an alignment. If your car is tracking all over the place, don't waste your time messing with anything because you actually need an alignment. But if you come home from the alignment shop and you notice your steering wheel is a little crooked, yeah, you could go back to the shop and have them fix it, but most shops will literally not be able to do it because they have no clue about this adjustment. A lot of shops just don't know this, they don't understand. When you're getting an alignment, the steering wheel could turn a little bit as they do their adjustment. So while your car is tracking straight and everything is nice and square, the steering wheel could be a little off. So this adjustment allows you to tweak your steering wheel a little bit without throwing anything off. You have to do both sides, of course. Push one side, pull the other. That way you have a nice, even alignment at the end of the day. But there you guys go. Quick and easy DIY adjustment. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.